So, got another raid here. Going into the Goblin caves with that same gear that I had in the last fighter video. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it down below in the description. Alright, getting in here, we spawn in some dark room. Don't really know where I am right now. Open it up. Here I decide to go right into this room because I know this room has a bunch of goblins and a goblin mage in the middle, and you can get a lot of the chests on the outside. Across the way there seems to be like the goblin mage already aggroed on some other player. So I'm watching out for that. But to get over there, I'm gonna need to kill these goblins, these two on the side, so I'll walk over there. Highlights for the gear today, I have a really stacked longsword and a really stacked recurve bow. So expect, you know, high damage coming out from both my weapons here. Okay, here, I kind of break the little pot with an arrow and shoot them once. Looks like a solo cleric. They're running away. They just got caught out by all these mobs. And see, the goblin mage there actually takes the kill. The little attack cast, reached his foot before my next arrow. So I basically got them low, then the goblin mage just killed them. Pretty funny. But yeah, I just finish up the rest of the mobs, heal up. And now is the time to loot. This guy has a pickaxe, interestingly enough, so they were a miner. Looking to mine some ore and make some of the special armor with it. I just equipped the pickaxe there on my slot just because it takes up so much room. You know, you might as well equip it if you're going to take it because then you have so much more space. Looting around here. Just same stuff. There, I'm hearing footsteps, but it's actually the skeleton, like, I don't know, skeleton fighter with armor and stuff and a shield down below. There's one of those chilling out in a hidden room down there. So this room is arranged in like a square kind of circle where you can just really go around and loot all the chests on the side and kill the enemies on the side and then loot the middle and then it's done. That's what I do here. I find a surgery kit, which is kind of cool. I usually don't find them that much. Especially this patch, I feel like, you know, this is like the first time and like last time that I find them is in these raids. Here, I'm kind of like going in a circle. You know, I kind of, you know, get turned around thinking that, you know, maybe this guy had something else on him. Pick up a little piece of treasure and move into the middle of the room instead. And see in the bottom right hand corner the zone's coming in, so I know I gotta basically like loot the outside edge of the circle first and then move away to a different room. That goblin there actually does a little AI pattern I've noticed where I think if they're low health, like if you hit them once or twice or whatever, they'll just walk away for a bit, like they'll just take like 5 steps back and like look back at you or something. It's a pretty funny AI pattern. Let me know in the comments if, you know, something else triggers that. I've only seen it when I damage them a little bit. So yeah, going around the edge again, there's a few chests. I'm thinking about going to the room, if you look in the minimap in the bottom right. Oh wow, no, Mimic shows up. That's crazy. I guess this is the first Mimic of this raid. Oh well. In the bottom right hand corner of the minimap, there's a room with like a bunch of wooden walkways, a bunch of scratches going around in like diagonal patterns. It's in the bottom left of the minimap. I really like that room. It's got a lot of treasure spawns, hot area for players, and the circle's there, so I decided to head that way. This is like a little intermediary room before I get to that room. If you've played the Goblin Caves, you've probably seen this room. It's the room with all the wooden walkways. I really like that room. I think it creates some fun PvP, some fun loot patterns. Cool. Decided to check out this chest since I'm already here. I might as well find a little pendant. And here as I enter, it looks like there's a player fighting up there. I try to shoot some arrows at him. It's around here where I kind of realized, like, how stacked my gear is. I feel pretty confident in pursuing some PvP. Guy throws a lantern down on me. Being a little freak up there. Not wearing any clothes either. Most players actually wear no clothes for movement speed, so you don't take any movement speed debuffs for, you know, wearing armor. Another player over there who is shielded up. I think that I want to fight them here. But this guy's still over here, and I get another easy shot in. It's 2 arrows hit so far, so I know they're messed up. I want to finish them off so I can fight this other guy with armor, but I'm not getting the opportunity to. Gonna, you know, show some threat to that guy so they back off. Watching out for them. Here I decided just to drop down. I'm not hitting any arrows from this angle. And I foolishly do my hits, and because they're not wearing an armor, they have enough movement speed to get away. But I get the last hit in before their protection shield pops up from that potion, I think. So they die. This guy's kind of pushing around up there. I still hear the plate boots clinking around. I figure I'm still okay to loot this guy if they drop down. I feel like I can win that fight. But they're bandaging up, I see, so I'm still good to heal up to full before they show up. Here, I thought they were going to try to jump down on me because I saw them jumping on top of that barrel. But they don't, so they go around, presumably to try to get closer to me, I would assume. But they're still clinking around, so I feel okay. Here, I want to get away from him, so oh, and then they jump down. As soon as I put away my longsword to move away, they jump down. We fight. 3 hits on me, 2 hits on him. I know he's low. He knows I'm low. I second wind. Second wind, if you don't know, is a skill that gives you half your HP back over a certain amount of time. So I know half of my bar is going to be filled up. I'm trying to shoot him through these like little wooden things in the stairs, but I just can't seem to hit an arrow. He tries to peek, and I hit his little toes right there. He runs away. I know with 2 hits with the longsword and 1 arrow with the recurve bow that they got to be low. They're running away. I probably could have shot an arrow from that angle down there on the stairs, but I just wanted to keep rushing him down if he was running away. Like if he opened that door. Goes over here to the darkness. I think I can get a cheeky arrow, but I miss. Unfortunate. And I try to crouch over. I take some spike damage, and I hit them once last time to finish out the fight. And with that, I just loot up. They had, you know, some green gear, some pretty good green treasure that I swap out with my other treasure, and some really good boots here. These boots are crazy. These plate boots that give you +2 damage and some other stuff. Really good. And so they're pretty much looted. I probably could have fit in a few other pieces of their gear if I dropped my arrows, because arrows are pretty cheap, admittedly, so sometimes it's okay to drop whatever arrows you have. At this point, I know there's probably not that many people in the raid, because the circle's pretty small and there's no one here. Decided to just open up the portal first, and if I hear anybody, I'll stick around with this last goblin. Nothing, so I leave. That's the first raid down right there. Pretty good. I got 2 kills and some fun little PvP. Sell all the loot to the collector here. And I don't actually, I see like my inventory is full of like gold piles instead of loot here. So it looks like it's not a lot, but if you factor in all the gold piles, it's quite a good bit for that raid. Getting to the next one here. Again on the Goblin Caves. This is right after all I did is, you know, buy more meds and empty my inventory before this. Here we are in the second raid. Here I spawn next to this room with 2 goblins, and there's another player along the edge there in front of me on one of the other walkways. They break out of their little thing they spawn in, and here I got hit by the goblins there. And it's a cheeky rogue doing some tumbles. I feel like I can get some arrows. I hit 1, and then I just barely see a little movement in the shadows and flick and hit my last arrow. They're dead. 2 arrows is all it took. This room has a weapon spawn on the table. Sometimes you can get a pretty good weapon. 2 chests and a few loose treasure spawns and potion spawns. It's a pretty good room. for only 2 goblins, and if you spawn right next to it, you might as well loot it, because you can just fill up a little bit of treasure. Break this, because, you know, I know the raid just started, but, and that rogue probably doesn't have anything, but I figure I might as well loot. There's some spikes on the floor there. Unfortunate, but what can you do? There's no way I could have seen that unless I had a torch or something. Actually had a blue bangle there. Gem bangle or whatever. Pretty good. I'm really glad that I jumped over and looted this guy before continuing. I also really like this spot here in this room because you kind of get a view on all entrances and you have a place to fall back on. I bait this death skull over here to the wooden planks so I can loot them better. So they don't like fall down or go to somewhere and I can't loot them. Organize my inventory here, making sure I'm topped up on heals, and then decide I'll head down here and maybe loot the other big room in this place. It has a goblin mage and a few goblins. That death skull just falls right below the wooden planks there. Pretty funny. Here I jump down on this goblin and actually jump on their head. I wasn't trying to do that, and of course I get paid to by a goblin hit. Their attacks have a little poison on them too, so it actually does quite a bit of damage. And there's that goblin mage and 2 other goblins in that room. It's a pretty good room. It's got a lot of loose treasure, pots, a big chest. Very worth looting, especially if you spawn near here. And this is one of my favorite rooms in the Goblin Cave. I love going to this like wooden walkway room and fighting and looting up this room. It's a lot of fun. Hit that goblin mage in the hand so they don't die. Here, for this room, I like to bait out the goblins one by one by just shooting their little arms, because they're on the left and right of this room behind the pots. Hit that one twice with arrows. One more attack does it. Still watching out for other players, because I know some players spawn over on that side, behind me. Finish off the last goblin, and here's all the treasure on that table, and behind it, there's a bunch of water pots. My inventory is already full, because I got a lot of, like, high slot items. So here I'm just trying to pick up anything else I can. And I even go back to the table and, like, try and check for better rarity. So like that thing is flawed instead of cracked, and cracked is worse than flawed, so it's better to drop the cracked item and then pick up the flawed one. Here I do that with the water pot, and I do that with the scroll as well, because they sell for just a bit more. Different rarities. Loot the last chest in this room, and now the circle's coming in. It's about halfway through the raid. I know the circle's good for me, so players are going to be heading to this room, most likely. Loot up the last stuff I can. Pull up on arrows. Here I'm deciding where I want to go. I hear a door break open somewhere over there, so I'm looking out. Don't really hear anything. I decide to top up my health. In here, I'm thinking about pushing, as I'm organizing my inventory, I'm thinking about pushing up to a different position in this room, just so I can get sort of like a better spot. Also think about leaving, but the circle's right here. I might as well just go up the stairs and get a better sort of overview on all the entrances with my bow. For me, that's right up here, top right of the screen right here, this little platform. Above these stairs, you can kind of see every entrance in the room, you know? And so you can just watch and pick someone off. Decide to kill these last few goblins up here. A bat aggroes, and I shoot them in the head once. They always do this telegraphed attack where they just go forward a bunch. So if you bait it out and go left or right around them, they just do the attack still, and they go right past you and you can just head them. Here, looks like a geared out rogue enters the room while I'm killing this last goblin. Which is kind of scary. They're jumping around with double jump. They try to jump over the gap, but miss. Here, it's because they look geared. I'm kind of playing safe. I'm really scared. They pull out what sounds like a potion. They drink a protection potion. So I pull back a bunch and drink my protection potion myself to counter before they can get up to me. I immediately second wind, which is actually a big mistake because this rogue knows that I just second winded and just runs away because they're confirmed faster than me. They can just run away I tried to second win, so I second win before they actually damaged me, so I kind of win the fight, but they know about that, of course, so they pull back and hide behind this pillar while my second wind runs out, and my shield. I heard them pull out a potion, so they're probably going to drink another shield, and they do. And they're charging me again. As they come up, I shoot them in the knee with an arrow. Skyrim reference not intended here. And they're kind of baiting around this little pillar. I peek, and they throw a throwing knife at me that stacks Rupture and Weak Point, two of the rogue's offensive skills. And I drink a potion here, which is a big mistake, because they get on me before I can get my weapon back up. I hit them twice. They hit me about 5 or 6 times. And I'm really low right now. I'm scared for another player coming, and I played that honestly pretty poorly. This is a showcase of a mistake. The rogue was already so near me during that fight that drinking a protection potion was actually the bad move because it takes so long to chug it all down. So they got on me before I finished actually drinking that protection potion. And they just got a bunch of free damage. It was really scary, really close fight. But altogether really good. I feel like that rogue knew what they were doing, and I really only won this because I had the better gear and probably the better weapon. It only took 2 hits with that stacked up longsword and all my other gear to finish off that rogue. Here I'm looting up all their rings, pendants, hood, and dagger. I know that dagger and that hood could probably sell on the market for a few hundred each. I highly recommend, if you haven't, to explore the player market and find out what sells and what doesn't sell, because you can easily get like a free, you know, few hundred more gold than you would have if you just looted treasure. Highly recommend, it's good. Here, I look around for a portal, find the last, or a little portal down here. It's coming up to the last circle now. Don't hear anyone, so I think that's it. Open up the portal and my inventory's full, I might as well just leave. Here I mess up opening the portal, of course, because I'm still a little nervous from that fight. But I open it up all the same and get out. Here, go back over to the collector, sell all the treasure. Got a lot more gold piles than I do treasure, again, for these raids. But all in all, it comes out to quite a bit. Here I made 335 gold, and I included all the extra loot I got in the form of candy and all that extra stuff from that rogue, and even those plate boots from that one fighter. Of course, the estimated value is an estimate. You know, who knows what I would have gotten for that on the player market, but yeah, that's the end of this video. A few fun raids, a few good PvP fights, and that's it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll keep making more. Thanks.